Blueprint has gone off on a tangent. We have Remen Okoruwa, co-founder and CEO of Propify, modernizing integrations for multifamily Proptech. How are you, Remen?
I'm doing fantastic, Edward. How are you?
Starting my morning with you couldn't be better.
Yeah, the feeling is mutual.
So tell us, what does your company do?
Propify offers a unified API, and what we do is we help both PropTechs as well as property owners and managers to integrate their technology solutions with the most popular property management software in the market. Think tools like Entrada, RealPage, etc.
Interesting. So it sounds like you harmonize APIs for owners and operators of multifamily?
That is correct. The reason people come to us is that, honestly, like a lot of times they need to connect their technology into multiple property management softwares. Take the case of a PropTech, like the company I used to run, RentDrop. We built a rent payment app, but in order to get deployed at biggest multifamily units, we're being told you need to integrate with Yardi, you need to integrate with RealPage, you need to integrate with Entrada, and the list went on and on. We didn't have the engineering resources to build and maintain all of those integrations.
Right.
And when we realized that this was a struggle facing the entire industry, we decided to go scratch our own itch and build that solution.
Wonderful. So you were building something, you detected a pain firsthand, you experienced this issue, and then you went all out and built a solution for it.
Yes, we did.
So who is this for?
Yep. So today we primarily serve PropTech startups and scale-ups, companies that are serving the multifamily industry, and their product needs integrations into these property management systems to deliver a seamless user experience, whether that's for the resident or for the property manager or owner.
Right. Integrations. I mean, when I hear the word integrations, it's how software, how data communicates, right? And as we know, communication for humans, it's what makes or breaks companies, businesses. It's what makes or breaks democracies.
Yeah.
So the fact that you guys are really focusing on integrations, aka communication among the property management softwares, I think it's wonderful.
Yeah. And I think that one of the things that we see is that it really, when you integrate in, there are so much great technology on the market, but like just as you said, if that technology doesn't communicate with the source of truth running a building, that property management software, it leads to these broken experiences and friction, whether that's for the renter, whether that's for the property manager. And I think that like really making sure that everything works together and is like tightly connected, that just makes for a much better, both the user experience, but ability to deliver value for all parties involved.
Absolutely. So it sounds like you make it super easy for that data extraction layer.
Yes.
For companies that aren't used to being the most tech savvy, mainly because that's not their job.
Yeah.
Right? And that's where you come in. So you're able to provide an apples to apples view across the portfolio instead of being stuck across multiple softwares. Is that correct?
Yeah. So if you're using our technology, it now doesn't matter whether some of the data is coming from, let's say, RealPage, and then some of the data is coming from Entrada, and some of the data is coming from like a Remen or Buildium. All the data, when it comes through us, looks exactly the same. And that means that it makes it so much easier to then take action on that data because you aren't spending a bunch of cycles trying to parse and true up. Oh, well, what does this field in one property management system, what does that correspond to in another system? We handle all of that translation for you so you can focus on like doing what you do best, building the analyses, getting insights out, or taking action based on what you see.
Let's talk about those actions. What are some of the actions that you're powering or that you're enabling this visibility across portfolios? Yeah,
so we support a ton of different use cases. I really like sort of like talking about the breadth of our customers because they're really the superstars.
Absolutely.
So right now we're helping customers do tenant screening, document fraud detection, sort of maintenance, sort of outsourced maintenance as a service. Okay. We're supporting folks in the affordable housing sector as well.
Wonderful.
And we're also helping drive resident benefit and amenities programs.
Okay.
So a really broad diversity of different use cases, but the key thing for all of them is they need a bunch of data to make it all work.
Absolutely. I mean, sounds like a truly holistic approach here.
Yeah.
Talking to Spencer Rascoff a couple of days ago, co-founder of Zillow, he mentioned how the next wave of PropTech companies was going to be focused on simplicity. However, I challenge that because even Spencer's company, Picasso, it's not simple at all. You know, it's a holistic approach to fractional second home ownership. And I think we've learned in the first wave of PropTech innovation how you can become a monopoly in a niche, right, in part of the real estate cycle. However, deploying, integrating, growing, scaling isn't easy.
Yeah.
So you taking a more holistic approach, I think, will yield more success in the future.
Yeah, you know, one of the things that we think about, and I think we just feel really excited about the timing, because PropTech is a relatively new industry. If you rewind the clock 15, 20 years, I don't think people were talking about PropTech. It wasn't really a term.
Right.
But now you have this explosion of companies, and I think being an enabling technology that makes it easier for other PropTechs to build,
Yeah.
you know, it's like whether that's going to be simple solutions or even more complicated ones, like being able to just like help them sort of deliver the technology in that core data infrastructure without breaking the bank. I think that that's going to sort of help the PropTech ecosystem go further faster.
Yeah. So, Remen, how much does Propify cost, and how do you make money?
Typically, our customers are paying us monthly subscription fees anywhere in the range of, it starts really like $2,000 to $3,000 and goes up from there based on really data usage and the scale of the service you need supported. One of the things that's sort of like unique about our model is that when you work with us, we aren't charging you based on the number of systems you integrate with. Rather, that fee gets you access to all the systems that we support. So it really allows companies to not sort of feel constrained to try to pick and choose, hey, which property management system matters most to me? Rather, working with us, we have you covered across all the tech that you could care about.
Who's the team, and why are you the right team to do this?
Yeah, so honestly, like we put together like a team of rock stars. So of my two co-founders, both myself and our chief operating officer, both were product managers at HubSpot. I worked on reporting. He was actually the first product manager on the CRM team. So we've sort of seen from the inside, like the power of growing and scaling a massive tech business. And we've also seen the power of like APIs integrations and building massive integrated ecosystems, how that can create a lot of innovation and value. We saw that in MarTech. We're now trying to do that in PropTech. Now, our CTO, he's a guy who has worked at a number of tech startups before, and honestly, like he's our secret weapon. He has led engineering teams who've built API integration platforms in the past. So when we came to him with this idea, he's like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, this makes a ton of sense, and I know exactly what the next steps are going to be."
I don't know how many companies I've convinced to switch to HubSpot or to start using HubSpot. For those of you who are not familiar, I don't know where you've been the last 15 years, but HubSpot is a wonderful CRM. Let's talk about some of those lessons that you're bringing from HubSpot, you know, this publicly traded CRM company, and how do those apply to PropTech?
Yeah, so I think that probably the biggest lesson that HubSpot taught me, and this is the thing that sort of gets me out of bed every morning, is the power of deeply integrated ecosystems. So if you look at a lot of the property management software in the market, they have somewhere between 100 up to maybe 300 integrated partners. HubSpot has over 1,500. Salesforce has over 3,000 integrated partners. And those companies have seen the tangible results of by building a really broad tech ecosystem and empowering customers to get the best technology, whether it's Salesforce or HubSpot, but sort of having your tech be the core of a very broad set of integrated tools. That's how you deliver the most customer value, and that's how you make customers really happy.
Right.
And when I look at property management systems that have sort of a narrower set of integrated partners, and candidly, not a lot of integrations outside of PropTech, like you don't see companies integrating with HubSpot or Salesforce or Zendesk.
Right.
I see a massive opportunity for this ecosystem to open up and really empower property owners and managers to get the best tech to solve the problems that they face and make sure that all works seamlessly with the technology that lies at the heart of their operation.
Wonderful. Where do you plan to be in the next 12 to 24 months?
Yeah, so we're gonna keep on building, keep on scaling. Right now, so the customers that we support now cover 2.8 million rental units in the United States.
Wow.
So hey, but there's also 44 million or 48 million renting households. So we still have a long ways to go there.
And we grow.
But with that said, the other thing we're really excited about is just continuing to integrate more and more. We estimate there's about 41 million rental units that are managed by software. Today, we cover 71% of that. We want to be at 100% by end of next year.
Wow.
So that means a lot more integrations, but at the end of it, a much greater opportunity to help any company that wants to take advantage of PropTech solutions and the data that we can provide, give them access to the entire market.
Fascinating and inspiring. Talk about some of your key growth or adoption metrics.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, we think a lot about the number of integrated systems as being a big part of like how we measure our success. Today, we plug into 8 property management systems. We want to be at 10 by end of this year. And then as we look at 2024, we have another 3 or 5 that we think are really high priority. But I think that the biggest metric for us, and this might sound a little bit corny, is just like customer satisfaction.
No.
You know, we spend a lot of our times working really, really closely with our customers, especially in the first 30 to 60 days when they're initially onboarding onto our solution, because integrating with us, we know it's a better experience. A part of that experience is the technology, but I would argue the much bigger part of that experience is actually working with a team that is responsive to your questions. All of our customers have a dedicated Slack channel, and we're responding to their queries in 5 minutes or less.
Wow.
And I think that feeling like we're an embedded part of their engineering team and seeing them say that they love working with us, that word of mouth has really helped us to sort of scale and continually find more ways to deliver value to the companies in this ecosystem.
I mean, customer satisfaction, I think it's not corny at all. And after WeWork blessed us with community-adjusted EBITDA, I don't think any other metric will ever be corny after that. So I think that's inspiring. Remen Okoruwa, CEO and co-founder of Propify. Thank you so much for coming to Tangent today at Blueprint in Las Vegas.
Edward, thank you so much for having me. It's been a real treat.
If you like what you heard, please subscribe, rate, and review Tangent and share the show with a friend. This episode is produced by me, Edward Cohen. Thanks for listening to Tangent, and remember, collaboration is our superpower. So stay curious and always be learning.